Friends, I've been doing some shopping and I thought that I would share my new purchase with you today in an unboxing video, which is not something that I have really done before in all my years of filming videos and in upgrading the tech that I use to do my work as a designer. So today we're going to take a look at my brand new MacBook Air together. If you've seen my workstation tour, which I'll link on a card, you'll know that I do most of my work on an iMac Pro, on a desktop computer right here. But when I travel, I use this 13-inch MacBook Pro, and that is what this MacBook Air will be replacing. This one is a few years old now. It's just gotten a little bit slow, which was a bit frustrating on my last big remote work trip I did to New Zealand. And I'm going back to New Zealand this December, and I wanted to get a little bit of an upgrade before then. So goodbye, MacBook. All right, let's open this box and then I'll talk you through the specs that I chose. And I've got this top-down camera situation happening as well, so let's peel it open. I often forget that Apple boxes have this handy little tab, and I like take a craft knife to them to open the plastic, but luckily I remembered today. All right, goodbye plastic. We're ready for the most satisfying part of opening an Apple product. The suspense. There we go. Ta-da! Here she is. Whoa, okay, wait on. Definitely feeling like this is lighter. I don't know if that's a placebo effect because I know it's a MacBook Air and it's meant to be lighter. So the color I chose, because obviously that is the most important spec that I share with you first. Watch all the tech YouTubers come for me. Ooh, this is the Starlight MacBook Air, which honestly in this light is really just looking silver, but I swear Starlight is what I ordered, so yeah, we'll trust it. We'll take a look in the daylight and see if it gets that more of a golden glow to it. In the box we have this braided cable. It's pretty nice. Ooh, that's right, and it's MagSafe again, which is going to be super fun to like not have to worry about pulling a computer off a table through a USB-C port. Oh, look at me making a mess already. So this computer has just two ports on the MacBook Air. Because this is not going to be my full-time device, I think that's going to be quite all right for me for when I'm traveling. And like, you don't have to use up one of the ports to plug in the power brick either. Ooh, which, speaking of, let's get into more specs. The power brick that I chose, because you have the option of getting one that is, I think, less wattage, but you can plug two USB-C things in at once to it. I chose to get the higher capacity one, is that the word for it? Because it charges faster. Now let's bring back our messy cable. So there we go, charging brick. I already have a bunch of swappable heads, ends, plugs, bits for it. So when I go to New Zealand, I swap it out for a New Zealand plug head. Likewise, whenever I go to the US or the UK, I have all of them as well, which is very darn handy. One of my favorite Apple little features. And yeah, that's it from the box. We just have the packaging stuff here, which, are they still giving stickers out as part of this? I've never used them. Oh, yep, they are. Ooh, if I can get them out. Fancy. I guess the stickers are meant to be Starlight colored as well. Okay, should we open it up for the first time together? I'm gonna put it here so hopefully you can see it. Ooh, that sound. So satisfying. So satisfying. Okay, so let me talk you through the specs of what is inside this machine, which is honestly, yeah, very thin, very impressed. And I like the little feet, how it sort of sits slightly up off the table, but it's all got that very more boxy design. I think it's nice. So this is the latest MacBook Air. I think it came out like mid this year maybe is when it was announced. It's got the M2 chip in it, so it's the latest one. And I upgraded the memory to have 24 gigabytes of RAM, and I upgraded the SSD to have 1 terabyte. You could go up to 2, but I decided that I didn't need to max out that so much. I use Dropbox for storage, and 1 terabyte is what I have right now on my MacBook Pro and on my iMac. So that's working well for me with like managing online or offline files with Dropbox. What else did I choose with this? Yeah, so the memory update to the 24 gigabytes, that was the max that you could go to. It's not something you can update later, so that's why I chose to do it now. Ooh, and I picked, excuse me, while I try to sound like I know what I'm talking about. It's got an 8 core, I guess. I'm trying to translate from Spanish in my receipt. 8 core CPU, 10 core GPU, and 16 core neural engine. whatever that means. I think there's 2 versions of this MacBook one, and I got the higher spec version there. And then the other thing, the important thing that I chose, which we'll see in the camera up here, this right here is the UK keyboard layout. I live in Spain, and my computer took a little bit longer to get here because I customized it to this. I have been using UK layouts since I moved to the UK in 2015, and that's just like what I'm sticking with now.
To use English as the main language, press the return key.
Okay, thank you. The UK keyboard has a different layout to the Spanish keyboard, and also like to a US keyboard as well, which I think is what gets used in New Zealand. I think I would have like grown up using US layout keyboards. But anyway, UK is what I'm used to now. It has this return key here that goes like this, and I would find myself constantly hitting whatever key is here on the US keyboard whenever I've tried to switch to one. So yeah, just decided why bother trying to switch. The UK keyboard will work great for me. And I really like that this has, I think these keys are, yeah, a lot nicer than the keyboard on, let's move this over here, the MacBook Pro that I had previously. This was the keyboard that kind of had a lot of people hating on it, and it's also got the touch bar, which again had a lot of people hating on it. I never really found a lot of use for the touch bar. It didn't annoy me, it was fine. That wasn't a reason that I was upgrading or anything, but I think it makes much more sense to have this nice row of function keys right here. And it's still got the Touch ID, so that's nice. Comparing these 2 computers side by side, they honestly seem like very similar size. The MacBook Air is slightly larger, ever so slightly, and it looks like the trackpads are around the same size, so that's nice. And I feel like in this light right here, I am definitely seeing that it's starlight rather than silver. This one was space gray, so that's the difference that you're seeing there. I am definitely going to be stickering up the top of this one too. I have a few stickers just hanging out here, ready to be, you know, put on. Woo! Though I am going to be sad to lose some of the ones that I have on here, you know? I'm a big fan of stickering my laptops. I get it, it's nice to keep them all pristine, but I just like to personalize things if I can. This one is what I'm going to miss in particular. I think I need to reach out to the Catcade, which is this cat rescue / arcade in Chicago, and see if I can buy another one of them. Let's just clean that up for now. I'm not going to stick the stickers on camera because I want to be very thoughtful about where I'm placing them. Let's test out how the MagSafe feels. Boop! Ooh! Yeah. That's really satisfying. And luckily it does still also have a headphone port, which is nice. Although I use my AirPods Max now anyway, so I don't know why I'm excited about a headphone port. I just think computers should have one, okay? So there it is, my new computer. This is where all of my design work will be happening whenever I'm away from home, or sometimes if I want to sit outside on my terrace, as you've seen me do in my vlogs. That work will be happening now on this MacBook Air. I chose the MacBook Air instead of the MacBook Pro because of its portability, and I felt like the M2 chip was already like such a big upgrade on the MacBook Pro that I had, that I didn't really need a Pro version of a computer for what I'm going to be doing while I travel. Yeah, we'll see in the future if that was the right decision or not, I guess. But right now I feel pretty confident that these laptops seem like they work great for all of the software that I'll regularly be using it for. I'm really excited to have this, excited to get, you know, a new toy, new piece of tech, and I think I'm a fan of this whole notch situation that we've got going on with the screen. It'll be interesting to see how the apps that I use like relate to that. It's funny, right now I'm like moving my mouse along and it disappears behind the notch. That's funny. So note to self, just like check there, move the mouse down if you can't find it. But I think I'm a fan of it compared to like the way that with this old screen there's a bigger bar up the top, and also the fact that it says MacBook Pro down the bottom, and this one is just nice, clean, nothing. It's nice. I also think they've done a good job of when I open the computer up, how it just like stays in place there and it's not trying to jump up off the table. Nice hinge. Alright, clearly I'm running out of things to say now, so I'll sign off. Thanks for joining me for this unboxing video, a bit of a new type of video for me, but I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you're thinking of upgrading your tech. When do you make that decision? What is your point in time where you're like, it's time for a new computer? Do you wait until your previous one is just like fighting you like I did? Is there like, do you upgrade every certain number of years? I don't know. Let me know in the comments and tell me what device you're currently using and what you would buy if you would upgrade right now. It doesn't have to be Apple either. I'm curious to hear about everything of all the options that are out there. Speaking of going to New Zealand, please make sure you subscribe to my channel because I'll definitely have some vlogs coming from my trip there to see my family. And if you're interested, you can click over here to watch my time in managed isolation from my last trip to New Zealand. That was quite a process that I'm glad I don't have to repeat again. All right, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.